r/AskReddit. What drug did you take once and thought nope, never again? Like the video and subscribe to the channel, or why dog will steal your TV remote. My dad gave me a Dilaudid that he had left over from his hip surgery, because I had a sore neck. I felt an almost overwhelming sense of euphoria. I knew that I could never take another one. Was in the hospital, and because of being a former practicing alcoholic for many years. After an especially bad week, I gave myself acute pancreatitis, and was in the worst unending pain of my life. I genuinely wanted to die, rather than keep feeling that way even a second longer. One hit of Dilaudid and I felt happier and better than I could fathom. I immediately and fully understood, even in the storm of that moment, why people can absolutely ruin their lives with painkillers. That fake weed stuff that was around a little while back. Thought I was going to die. So hot. My sister found me, naked, passed out in the bathroom, with my face against the bottom of the toilet. This really bothered me. I'm not a germaphobe, but rather germ-aware. You mean spice? That shit is fucking crazy. I got spiked with some and thought there was a spider in my throat. Never again will I touch that crap. I made the mistake of doing a hit after drinking some tequila, and I had an out-of-body experience, and felt like I was paralyzed. Only my eyes could move, and would only react to the flick of the lighter. We had a group of friends there, and there were no lights at the park in my neighborhood. I had to make my way home after projectile vomiting on the side of a trash can, and not a single friend helped me after that. Cut ties with the lot of them. Meth. I did some once thinking it was coke, spent 2 days strung out and horny as hell, never again. It sucks getting drugs mixed up. I was going to have a threesome in a hot tub once. I had coke, and one of the girls had K. Anyway, I jumped out to grab a drink from the kitchen, and thought I'd rip a fat line while I was in there. Obviously I got things completely mixed up, and did a Scarface-size line of ketamine. Eventually, they both came inside the house, and found me unconscious in the fetal position. Never tried K before, and I'll never try it again. Me too, except I wasn't horny. I got hella paranoid from not sleeping. Kept hallucinating that a static man was coming to get me. Fuck that shit. Guess that's what I get for thinking it was coke. Then my roommate proceeded to tell me that she found it on the road between two parked cars. I wanted to kill her, but kicked her out instead. Haven't touched shit since then. OxyContin, shit was too relaxing, and didn't last long. I had knee surgery, and they gave it to me for the pain. I took it for a week and when I wasn't on it, I really wanted more. After a week of it, I never wanted to touch that shit again. Same for me. I was prescribed some after a pretty painful oral surgery, and the first day back at work, don't worry, it was a desk job, no heavy machinery, the pain was so bad, I gave in and took one. I remember zoning out at one point, looking at the clock on my computer, and realizing I had just sat at my desk staring at the screen for 2 hours. And my mouth still hurt like a bitch. I started with 30 pills, and the other 29 sat in my cabinet for years, until I finally took them into one of those expired drug collection things at a local pharmacy. I was prescribed it after getting my wisdom teeth taken out. Took them twice just to help with the pain so I could sleep. I woke up multiple times because it felt like I had stopped breathing from being too relaxed. Never touched them again. Breathing. Trazodone for sure. I was in the hospital to get my heart fixed up, and was having a hard time falling asleep. To this day, no one is sure exactly what happened, if I was given too much, or just had a bad reaction or what. But I remember laying there and thinking something wasn't right. I got up, and just kinda wandered around trying to find a nurse. I was freezing, but pretty sweaty too, and couldn't really see or hear so well. And you know that feeling when you bang your funny bone? My whole body felt like that. The weirdest part was that I kept realizing, oh man, I'm in trouble. And would start to panic, but then a second later, I'd sort of forget and feel so serene. I remember a nurse running towards me, but she looked like she in slow motion, like we were underwater kind of. And I knew that I had something really important to tell her, but couldn't remember what it was. All I could think was how beautiful everything was, how the light was catching her hair, and her sneakers squeaking across the floor sounded like a symphony. I remember smiling at her, and just kind of slumping against the wall, and then everything went dark. I woke up, hooked up to a bunch of monitors, with a lot of worried faces standing around. My blood pressure had dropped down to nothing, and if they hadn't found me when they did, I probably would have died. 6 out of 10 experience. It was very beautiful, but they made me chug so much yellow Gatorade, and to this day that stuff makes me gag. Ambien. Woke up in my underwear, on my neighbor's porch. My girlfriend was having trouble sleeping, and her doctor gave her a prescription for Ambien. First couple of nights, no problem. Then I wake up one night, and find her in the kitchen, all the burners on the stove turned on full. Semi-lucid, she said she wanted to make soup. I managed to get her back into bed. 2 nights after that, I wake up to find her out in the garage, in the car, engine running, wearing just a pair of knickers. Said she needed to go to Albertsons, because we didn't have peanut butter. She quit taking Ambien after that. I took one night, then took another and then another. I wasn't trying to abuse it, it just didn't put me to sleep. I trashed my house. I woke up at 11 the next day to my boss calling me. I was in the military at the time. He started chewing my ass, and all I had to say was, "I took Ambien last night." And he said, "Okay, get in when you can." He knew how that shit fucked people up. Tetracycline. Turns out I'm allergic. Fun fact, tetracycline antibiotics are one of the few drugs that are actually dangerous to take past their expiration date. Usually, a drug's expiration date just indicates a loss of potency, but they're generally not unsafe to take, you just won't get the same strength, or might not have any effects at all. Not tetracycline. It literally becomes toxic. Salvia. I smoked it, and instantly dropped the bowl. I thought I was in a reality, where I was a giant Velcro pepperoni, that was strapped onto a giant pizza, and was trying to escape. I was actually just laying on the bed, unable to get up. Which is good, because later, the entire wall of my 3rd floor apartment opened up, and I felt the urge to jump out, so I might have jumped out the window if I had been able to move. Good stuff. When I did it, I was convinced that I was a grocery store, and people were shopping inside of me. It was the most important thing to stay completely still, lest I shift and knock all the shelves down and kill everyone inside. The problem was, that I was laying on my arm in a weird twisted way, and my friends were worried I was going to break it. Benadryl. Took around 700 to 800 mg, like 25 or 30 pills, a while ago to trip. Not a good recreational drug. It's like how people who don't do drugs imagine acid to be like. I'd actually vividly see things and people that weren't there. I'd see people come in the room I was in, and sit next to me on the couch, and I'd start having a conversation with them, only to blink and have them disappear. I'd get up, and start filling up a cup of water and bam, I'd be back on the couch, never having gotten up. I don't remember most of the night, but my friends said I was just in a completely different world. They had some funny stories from it though. Apparently at one point, I pulled my pants down, and just said, "Ants in my pants." My ex took the similar dose of Benadryl, when she was on about 5 hits of acid already. I later found out, this is called nightmare tripping, and it should be noted that that is a reasonable name for the experience. Xanax. Took a bar at a friend's house. All I remember, was watching Game of Thrones at a friend's house, then next thing I know, I'm at my apartment, and it's a day later. Wasn't a bad experience for anything, it was just alright, and felt like a waste of time. Plenty of better drugs out there. That stuff is the devil. I used to like taking it before going to work. You blink an eye, and your shift is over. In the meantime, your coworkers are all shitting on you for being fucked up at work. Xanax is the worst for people thinking they're pulling it off. Glad I'm off that shit, man. Xanax is the fucking devil. Hell, for me I could probably say, morphine IV, while on a hospital bed. Yeah, I might have had a pretty severe cut, that was leaking blood like no tomorrow, but going from agonizing pain in hell, to, yeah it's okay, I could die here happy if it had to be. Within a few minutes, was just a fucked up experience that I don't want to touch willingly ever. Same. Morphine in the hospital really scared me off opioids. Felt like something had completely taken over my body. I mean, I could see why that could be a positive, but I'll definitely take a pass. Not a drug, but I was told I needed to take a fiber supplement, and went with the fiber pills. Then I went to the emergency room, because I felt like I couldn't breathe within a few minutes of taking them. Fiber pills swell up easily with water, so they can end up feeling like they are sealing your throat. I now take fiber gummies, and actually enjoy having a little treat every day. This wholesome little gem in a comment section full of hardcore drugs. Go on with your fiber gummies you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below for more daily content.